Hi everyone, it's Nalanie and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're doing a first impression mini review on the Anastasia Luminous foundation. I know it's not a new foundation, but I kind of haven't tried any new foundations recently. I have a bunch of foundations that I'm trying to finish up before the end of the year, and everything is kind of coming to an end, so I've been trying to grab a couple of samples, trying to figure out what foundations I really like so I can invest in it. So today I wanted to test out the Anastasia Luminous foundation. I only got a little sample size right here, so that's what I'm going to be using. The shade that I am testing out is 335W. I'm just reading it off the paper, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of information as to what the foundation says it's supposed to do. So it's a water-resistant liquid foundation that creates luminous natural finish and is long-wearing even without a setting powder. I have combination skin. I always need to set my foundations and just set everything. It just makes me feel a lot better. But it is good for all skin types, normal, dry, combination. And it looks like they have about 50 shades, which is a really good shade range. So I already primed my skin, I hydrated it, and I used a little bit of this product right here. This is from Touch in Sol Pretty Filter Glassy Skin Balm. So I really do like this. I've been using this a lot lately. And to prime my skin, I'm going to go in with the Milk HydroGrip primer. I know a lot of people always do half the face without primer and half the face with the primer, but I'm not one of those people. I like to test a product and a foundation, especially the way I would normally do my foundation. So that's how we're going to do this. And I'm just going to go in with a little bit of this primer, just 2 pumps, and I'm going to just really work this in. Okay, so now that my skin is a bit tacky, I'm just going to go in with the foundation. I'm really hoping that this matches, and I'm just going to go in with a little brush, but I am going to work this in with a beauty sponge. So I'm going to start with just a little bit and then just work this in. And I'm using a Real Techniques sponge. So I'm going to try to build it because there is a little bit of hyperpigmentation and darkness peeking through, but this is supposed to be a medium coverage, so it's not supposed to be full coverage. I have really been liking medium coverages lately, but I always like to really build up a little bit of foundation and coverage on my cheek area, since that's where I have the most problems. Well, it's the most problematic area for me. So I'm just adding a little bit more here. And then I'm slowly working whatever product is left on the sponge onto my chin area, my upper lip. And now I'm just gonna add a very small amount of foundation on my forehead. I don't usually put a lot of foundation onto my forehead. If I'm using powder with some coverage, I typically skip it. And I like to also use a very small amount of product on my nose area, since I add some concealer there anyways. And I always avoid underneath the eyes directly, since that's where concealer goes. Great, so far, I want to say it wasn't a full 2 layers. I was just kind of slowly building. Everything is looking really good. You can still see a little bit of imperfections, which is fine, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to add a very small amount in those areas. And I didn't do any color correcting. Typically I do, but I really want to see how this foundation is doing on its own. And as you guys see, I'm only adding a very, very small amount. I don't want my foundation to look cakey. So I feel really hydrated, I feel really dewy, but I don't feel greasy. This is actually really different for me. I usually prefer more of a mattifying foundation, but I really wanted to test this out, so this is a little different for me. I'm not hating it at all. I think it's covering what I needed to, and my skin still looks like skin, which is really rare for me to say with a lot of foundations. Um, but yeah, I think I'm pretty much good with the foundation application. And I honestly didn't even really need to use tons of products. I am going to just go in with concealer, contour, bronzer, everything else. This foundation claims that you don't need to set it with any powder, but I think if you're more on an oilier side, I would definitely recommend setting it even with just a very small amount of powder. I'm just one of those people where I always need to set things with powder, just makes me feel better. But I'm not noticing any transfer with the foundation. I know it's going to be really, really hard to tell, but it's not transferring. So I'm going to jump off camera and do the rest of my face, and I will be right back. Okay, so the face is completely done. It took me about an hour to do my entire makeup process. So far the foundation is looking really, really good. I don't have any complaints. It is definitely a medium coverage. It is not full coverage, but you can build up coverage where you need it to, which is really nice. But the foundation is very lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I went ahead and set everything and did my normal go-to makeup, just, you know, because that's exactly how I'm going to be using it. But we are heading out, and I'm going to check back in with you guys in a couple of hours and let you know what the foundation is looking like and if this is going to be a potential purchase for me. So I will see you in a couple of hours.
6.5 hours later.
Okay, so we are home for the night, and my foundation has been on for at least 6.5 hours. And normally whenever my foundation breaks up, it separates really bad in my smile lines since they are pretty prominent and very deep, and my nose and around my nose area. I'm actually not having any issues whatsoever. The only area that I'm seeing a little bit of separating, and it's not even a big deal, is my smile lines. I'm not sure if it's picking up on camera, but it's just very, very minor. I'm sure if I take a brush, I can just buff it out and it'll be fine. Actually, let's do that. Yeah, it absolutely fixed it. Okay, so I don't have any complaints. My smile lines always separate crease because it's just really, really prominent, like I said. But I didn't do any touch-ups whatsoever. I didn't take any blotting sheets with me just because out of a habit, I tend to blot, but I wanted to make sure that I really gave this foundation a chance. So I didn't do any of that. The only thing I touched up was the white in my waterline and my lipstick because we were out eating and drinking. So I wanted to obviously make sure that my lipstick stayed on, and yeah. But so far I'm really, really happy with the foundation. I think it held up really well. My skin looks like skin. It has a really nice healthy glow to it. I'm not dewy looking. I'm really glad that I did set this with a little bit of powder. I didn't go in with a heavy amount. I just wanted a little bit just to kind of set things because I'm just one of those people. I need a little bit of setting powder. I'm not comfortable leaving the house without it. But so far everything looks really, really good. I also did look at the foundation to see what it looked like in natural light, in car light, in indoor lighting light. I was looking at it in different scenarios just to see what the foundation looked like, because sometimes things can look one way in one situation and a different in, you know, indoor outdoor. Like, you get what I mean, you know what I'm saying. But I do really like this. I do like that it is a medium coverage. You can definitely build it up, but for an everyday foundation, I'm okay with a medium coverage. I like when my skin looks like skin. If I'm going out and we're going to an event or just, you know, a function, then of course I want that full flawless coverage, you know, no imperfections peeking through, but for an everyday, or yeah, for an everyday, I'm really, really okay with that. And obviously other situations, I'm okay with natural skin peeking through. But so far, I am really liking the results. I do have a little bit more from the sample, so I think I can get another 2 uses out of this to see how I really, really feel about it before investing in this foundation. But so far, I am loving it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.